using their 5 children under the guise of fake prank videos. An international story that culminated with criminal charges and 2 of their 5 kids being removed from the home. What you may not know, however, is that the ringleader of this entire disaster is still on YouTube, with a pretty decent sub count and a modest but consistent viewership to his name. In short, Debbie05 never left. Born on December 17th, 1982, Mike Martin experienced a rocky adolescence. Growing up in Baltimore City, he was in and out of before fully dropping out in the 10th grade, according to his second line. But even before that, when Mike was only 3 years old, his adopted mother, Audrey Martin, married a man named Chris Britton, giving him and his sister a stepbrother by the name of James, who later testified in an interview that growing up, he and Mike were inseparable, describing Mike as a creative child, making up games to play with his stepbrother. According to James, Mike was always going to be in the limelight, just maybe not in the way anyone had hoped. Much of the cruel disciplinary tactics that were later used by Mike on his children were first used on him by Audrey, who was described as an aggressive sort of person who tended to be excessive when it came to punishment, making Mike write sentences over and over when he stepped out of line, exactly what he made his kids do on camera 30 years later. Not just as a punishment for them, but also for the sick entertainment of his deranged fans. Let's pace ourselves. I want to take time to fully understand the type of people we're dealing with here and chart approximately where things started to go wrong. According to the same interview James had with journalist Nick Monroe, James emphasized the difficulty Mike had in coping with personal issues, always being quick to blame others for his own wrongdoings, unable to take accountability himself. As reported by Monroe, if the school system wasn't failing him, it was the teachers or the students for something as minute as being too loud. But one of the biggest tragedies of Mike's childhood came when Audrey passed of an aneurysm in her mid-30s. This took a massive toll on Mike, who was still very young at the time, struggling to cope with her loss as his stepfather Chris was driven to sell the house and send Mike away to live with grandparents. Meanwhile, his sister Courtney went to go stay with her uncles. Mike was fully isolated, away from Courtney and his stepbrother James, who did attempt to reconnect with Mike later in life, but was met with contempt, refusing to speak with James and his wife Laura for unknown reasons. Much of Mike's life past this point is fairly unknown, as James didn't see or hear from him again. That is until he spotted his kids watching a YouTube video decades down the road.
I think with kids in this situation, probably you're not living in the right way. This is just the world's reaction to seeing children in distress, little defenseless children.
Now, the specific video that ends up getting brought to attention when they first started getting the backlash was actually probably on the lesser scale of how messed up some of their videos are.
Children being handled emotionally and physically in a way that shocked the world. And you can't be surprised that the world would have an adverse reaction.
Mike and Heather Martin had garnered quite a reputation by early 2017. Their content fully spilling out to the mainstream zeitgeist after being amplified by some of the loudest voices on the internet at the time. Before prompting such publicity, the couple had been quietly growing their channel since August 13th, 2015, toying around with a range of different genres before landing on the prank variety that eventually drove them to infamy.
What's up, PDO5? I have been thinking about a little prank to do about me 5.
At first, their content consisted of pretty harmless, unassuming daily vlogs of their blended family. Heather had 3 boys from a previous marriage, just as Mike had 2 kids of his own from his ex-girlfriend, Rose. A backstory we'll be exploring extensively a little later. As of 2016, the family had been known to stream on Twitch, along with their regular flow of YouTube content that was deemed fairly innocuous up until July 8th of that year, when Mike announced to his then humble following the first semblance of what would become the channel's primary focus, and ultimately the great downfall of an entire family. I may have just done a prank on one of my kids, and there might be a video coming soon, maybe. I don't know. You may not have known it, but from that moment forward, life for the Martin family would never be the same again.
Alright guys, so the dogs were outside and they drunk something. I'm pretty sure it's a baby mouse. And Heather doesn't know about it, so...
fun. Relax.
After the first taste of these new family-themed prank videos, the Daddy of 5 fanbase was hungry for more. Even when Mike teased the idea of going back to regular vlogs, fans clearly favored the pranking, undoubtedly having the kill count favor the genre was at the time. Pranks had never been more prevalent on YouTube than fall of 2016. This was after Joey Salads and Fousey had firmly established themselves as huge personalities, and just around the time commentary channels like H3 began pushing back against them. Some videos even breaking 100 million views. The potential to go viral and cash out was massive, and Mike was just one of the many budding channels eager to capitalize on such a growing trend. But what made him stand out was that he used his family as the vehicle for content. Combining the personality and vulnerability of family vlogs with the brazen marketing of prank videos made for a highly appealing final product to the eyes of hundreds of thousands. Before long, viewers began to see titles like Kid Spazzes Out, Kid Gets a Whoopin', Kid Has a Mental Breakdown, Psycho Wife Pulls a Knife on Husband, and Dad Punches Kid in the Face, all extremely deliberate phrasing meant to appeal to the lowest common denominator. And in doing so, Daddy05 had never seen such inflexibility. The more shocking a title was, the better. Piggybacking off the success of freak-out videos popularized by the juggernaut sneaking behind the camera, Daddy05 existed in a similar space, with videos like Kid Blows Up on Dad and Dad Destroys Kid's Xbox One.
Instead of doing class work, you were playing games? Really? Really? You want to play games, Cody? Want to play games? Play games, Cody! What? Play games!
It's obvious Mike knew exactly what audiences would respond to most, producing videos ranging from innocent exploding ketchup pranks to Jake beats up Ryan, or any given combination of violent buzzwords and scenarios that would give the channel more attention. But it wasn't necessarily the clickbait. So we gave Daddy05 their reputation. Instead, it was really a movie saw once more. Living in the Martin household was a hell I can only begin to imagine. Knowing your cloud-obsessed father was hanging around the corner just waiting for the next opportunity to strike and capture your reaction on camera for an epic YouTube video is something you or I will luckily never have to experience. Whether it was dumping water on his kids' heads as they came home from school, waking them up with a megaphone like they're at or letting your kid ambush your other kid by pouring spoiled milk into the tub while he showered. But these kids and real life seem to be almost impossible. Any peaceful moment to themselves was disrupted by a camera. Mike, looking to cause trouble, yelling curses every other word, even instigating fights between his own children for the sake of warmth. But this is what the Daddy05 channel consists of. In between Mike giving half-assed words of wisdom,
Decided to give everybody a little message. A little words of encouragement. Right now, you feel like you just can't go on no more? You're just dead tired? Right now is when it matters the most. This moment right now, this is what separates the losers from the winners.
See, in addition to being an unhinged maniac parent, Mike was also a raging narcissist, always putting himself at the forefront of the chaos, taking great pride in every milestone their channel hit. Sorry, I mean his channel.
Oh my god, I feel like if I get up, you go take a shower, I might miss it. If I hit 100,000.
While Mike emphasized his children and his content, he was the one who reaped all the rewards. Adamant about reaching 1 million subscribers and saving up enough ad revenue to one day purchase his dream car. And he didn't care how many tears were shed in the meantime to get there. It didn't take an astute observer to look at one video and notice a key difference in Daddy of Five's content compared to the rest of YouTube's most popular pranksters. These videos were not fake.
You gonna get violent? Really? That's how you're going. You're going. You are going.
The more these so-called pranks continued, the more hostile the environment became. While every child in the Martin family was exposed to vile treatment, some had it even worse than others. Namely, Mike's biological kids, Cody and Emma. Among the youngest in the family, Cody and Emma found themselves being picked on the most, not only by their siblings, but by their parents too, as a good portion of their titles included Cody's name in some disgusting way. Jake crushes Cody. Dad burns Cody's Pokemon cards. Cody ruined family night. Cody ruined the giant family surprise. I'm sending Cody to military school, and using Cody for target practice is only a fraction of the examples I found. Not including the Poop series, over time Cody became hated among the channel's family, seen as the power child to gullible audiences because that was the narrative Mike and Heather seemed to put forward. Even in tweets that have nothing to do with Cody at all, the replies would still be filled with people encouraging Mike to punish Cody further, telling him that he should make Cody write more sentences, or that he should hit him harder. As heartbreaking as it may be to admit, it was genuinely what some people were tuning in to see, and the Martin parents had no problem giving them just that.
What is all this? What the heck is all this? Let me guess, you think I did this? What is this? What are Clorox wipes?
It's clear from the time that Mike and Heather decided against letting Cody come with the family to Disneyland, they had always had some kind of weird resentment towards him. Where in one instance, Heather just outright admits she didn't want to take it.
I wanted to take it.
Okay, well, I don't want to take him. I love the boy, but I don't want to take him because he's bandaged and he's going to make everyone miserable the whole time.
Implying that his behavior means he isn't a kid and that he's got something else wrong with him.
He put poop everywhere. Several times. Poop. Everyone is going to miss, well, not everyone, but I'm going to miss him too.
There's jerks in there, they're not fair.
I wish he would behave himself and act like a normal child. Normal kids have bad behavior. Cody has something else.
Despite the fact that smearing OCD, PTSD, anxiety, or depression, Cody has also been officially diagnosed with OD, otherwise known as oppositional defiance, which Mike and Heather would have to be aware of according to his biological mother, Rose. But despite this disorder, the Martins weren't holding any punches with the pranks they pulled. One video in particular by the name of Cody Gets Kicked Out stands out to me the most.
What's up, Team DO5? I'm in Codes.
Autsch. Bei Rückenschmerzen helfen Voltaren-Dolo-Tabletten schnell und sind praktisch für unterwegs. Es ist mehr als Schmerzmittel. Es ist das Entdecken einer neuen Stadt. Voltaren. Wieder Freude an Bewegung. Zu Risiken und Nebenwirkungen lesen Sie die Packungsbeilage.
The video begins with Mike laying the groundwork for a new prank idea, convincing Cody that he'll be going to live with fellow YouTuber Kid Behind the Camp to clean dog poop to straighten up his behavior, making it seem as real as possible by getting the rest of the family in on it too.
We catch up to speed here. I don't have chocolate on me. I hate some chocolate. So, I told Brian that Cody's out of here. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy about that. We can kind of go places and not have him acting stupid. Sounds like closest to you. No one wants to do this now.
And he's the sensitive one.
Well, I don't want to deal with them. No one in this house wants to deal with them.
You don't love Cody.
Well, he's dead. He needs to go.
This is literally how the video opens up. A dad getting his kid to talk bad about his other kid. Mike then waits for Cody to get home from school before breaking the news right as he walks to the door. Cody refuses. As per usual, a screaming match ensues.
Felix.
And I said go find some! You're going.
When did you become the boss?
Once Mike and Heather become more adamant that he will be moving out of the house, Cody retreats upstairs in search of a hiding place before accusing his parents of not being and his position.
So you love me?
I do.
No, you don't.
Gotta get you help.
If you love me, you wouldn't leave me.
You got serious problems. I'm not leaving you.
In a dispute that seems to last the rest of the evening, Mike and Heather help pack his things before meeting him at the bottom of the stairs, where Cody begins throwing clothes at his dad.
Now!
At that point, Mike is forced to reveal the truth. As anyone could expect, Cody doesn't take the news well.
It's just a prank. Stop it! Just a prank.
Really?
Yes. Hi. It's just a prank.
Messed up.
His family had just locked in, making him think his life was about to change overnight. It's not the first time he lied to Cody, considering the other instance that made him think they had abandoned him.
Cody! Craig! We saw you. We hit on purpose.
Or the other time he convinced Cody he was being put up for adoption.
Leave it.
I'm scared I'm not supposed
You are.
But none of those videos received as much scrutiny as the widely shared Invisible League prank posted in April of 2017.
Hey guys! So, I got a friend for Cody. I bought this here Invisible Ink, and I'm gonna squirt it all over his carpet and start flipping out. Because remember before, guys, you've seen our videos, you know, he got ink all over our carpet. We actually had to pay someone to come clean it. So we're gonna make him think that he did it again.
Opening with Heather smearing some kind of ink all over the carpet, the so-called prank takes a dark shift when Cody enters the room and she and Mike proceed to berate him for making a mess, blaming the child for something we all know he didn't do. Making for such a difficult watch, I'm not sure how much footage I can even show here. Mike and Heather's faces go completely red, trying to get a confession out of their son, and cries and cowers in fear, not even understanding what it is he's being accused of. In a particularly uncomfortable moment, Alex comes to his stepbrother's defense, to which Mike and Heather respond by attacking him too. The rest of the kids stand by, unsure of how to react or what they can do to help. All they can do is watch in horror as their parents viciously wear Cody down to a breaking point, before finally revealing it all to be a big, wacky prank.
Invisible Ink is drying out. It's already drying out.
They try to play it off as a joke in the outro of the video, but it's too late. Within days, the video made the rounds on YouTube, being rightfully chastised for exhibiting clear-cut child abuse in the eyes of some. Daddy05 addressed the haters in a video response shortly after, where Mike downplays the prank and blames viewers for not seeing the humor in it.
Really is upsetting a lot of people. This video, I mean,
It's just a prank room. Pretty much,
a lot of people don't see the humor in it.
Did anybody try?
But as expected, this wasn't convincing anyone. The kids in the video were visibly shaken, audiences were outraged, and Cody and his biological mother didn't stand for any.
In August, we had a mutual friend contact us about some YouTube videos, and we tried to get some help.
Rose Hall has spoken at great length about the trauma brought on by discovering her two kids being effectively abused by her ex-partner. When the Daddy05 channel was brought to her attention in August of 2016, she and her sister Crystal Reynolds tried seeking help by immediately contacting the authorities in her state of North Carolina. who found the footage to be alarming. But when it was passed along to Maryland, where Mike and Heather reside, the Baltimore police at the time declared it corporal punishment, therefore refusing to take any action.
The state that they live in now decided that it's considered corporal punishment to verbally and physically and mentally abuse your children.
Rose's hands were tied, unable to do anything but binge the Daddy-O-5 channel and keep tabs on every new upload. For many months, she was utterly powerless. But how did these kids even leave her care in the first place?
Cody was no longer with us. Not even 2 years after that, they got Emma.
It's important to note, while the mother of his children, Rose Hall has never actually been married to Mike Martin. Though it's been reported that two met in 2004 after she moved to Maryland, Mike's alleged demeanor didn't start to change until the birth of Emma in 2005. Rose noting a difference in the way he treated them, leading him to and Cody in May of 2007. It's also been alleged that Mike began speaking with his next partner, Amy, in 2008, expressing dissatisfaction with his current relationship. Finally leaving Rose on her own with the kids in August 2008. As Rose's sister Crystal stated, Mike left back in 2008 when Cody was 1 and Emma was almost 3. My sister took care of those kids by herself, with no money or help from him for almost 7 years. In 2014, though, Rose reached back out to her estranged partner, trying to seek help with Cody's ODD.
3 years ago, she contacted Mike to give him a second chance to try to be a dad. 2011, excuse me. And was gone for several years.
Cody's struggling in her house. She thought maybe a quick summer trip to his dad's place could serve as a nice change of pace. Little did she know what Mike and Heather would do next.
She actually Cody was ODD, asked if he could go and visit for the summer to try to, see if the change of environment would kind of help him out.
It's possible Mike took this gesture as an indication that Rose was unwilling to take care of him with his condition. But as writer Nick Monroe pointed out, it's important to note there's a distinction between a child's behavior being difficult to deal with and to being deemed incapable of handling a child altogether. In fact, according to Rose, one of the reasons she wanted Cody in Maryland at the time was so he could access better medical care. As of today, I have yet to see any potential signs that Rose would be unfit to look after Cody and Emma. But I see plenty of signs of Mike and Heather to be some of the worst caregivers for any child. One of the more serious from Rose being that Mike and Heather forged paperwork to make it seem she had given her majority custody rights to them.
The stepmother, Heather, decided that she was going to forge papers and say that my sister gave up her rights of Cody and was sending him to live there.
During what was supposed to be a 6-month stay, Rose claimed that Mike began slowly excommunicating her from her son. Nightly calls turned into weekly calls, which became monthly, until Cody just got too busy. Rose claims Cody's temporary visit began to look more permanent when she saw her name at the bottom of the court papers in December 2014, blaming Mike and Heather for forging her signature on a document she swears she didn't sign. One bit of evidence was even Mike and Heather against her, seemingly indicating the cachet of Rose's personal documents somehow in their possession. According to Rose, they'd have no other way to obtain this information than by taking it from her home during a routine visit to pick up Cody's toys.
It wasn't hard for them to forge their stuff because somehow they got an entire tote of paperwork, like Medicaid for kids and things like that, papers that she had signed.
They also used a very personal document against me, and what they took document that nobody was supposed to see. It was confidential.
To this day, Rose still denies ever signing Cody's rights to the markets. While Heather has continued to maintain her innocence, she and Rose supposedly exchanged these series of emails over the next few months, with Heather reportedly taunting Rose with things like, "Yes, you are his mother, but I am his mom. Yes, he does think of me as his mom," claiming that he refers to Rose as his stepmom, according to documents obtained by Nick. Rowe. Reportedly texting Rose at one point, "You're not even a fraction of the woman and mother I am." Throughout this entire debacle, we see transcript of Rose talking about how afraid Emma was that they'd come and take her next. Both Rose and Emma lived in fear of what Mike and Heather might do next. A dread exacerbated by Mike's alleged intimidation tactics around this time. With this police report filed by Rose at the time to indicate so.
The two guys live in Washington, North Carolina. I was working at the Walmart over there before they took my daughter from me. And they would follow me home. One tried to run me off the road, and there's, I reported it to the police. I had police statements where Mike was harassing me. Him and Heather thought it was funny to drive by my house a couple times before I moved out to intimidate me, scare me, which it worked, and they ended up taking her and got what they wanted.
In November 2015, while Mike and Heather had Emma staying at their house for Thanksgiving, Rose alleges they snuck her back down to North Carolina and coerced her to lie about her mother being abusive in front of a court, saying things like she didn't keep enough food around the house, she was punching holes in the wall and cutting herself. None of it was true, Rose maintained. During much of this process, though, Rose was forced to represent herself in court, as she claims the Martins had called ahead and spoken to countless lawyers in the area about the situation, making sure that none of them could be hired by Rose, as them speaking with the other party made for a close conflict of interest.
I tried to represent myself because I couldn't afford a lawyer, and when I did afford a lawyer, Mike and Heather kept saying it was a conflict of interest to the judge, so the judge made me get rid of my lawyer. They told us in court that Mike and Heather had spoke to the lawyer, a whole bunch of names of different lawyers in the town, and they called every single one and told them about what was going on. When I called to talk to that lawyer, they said they couldn't. It was a conflict of interest that they already talked to the other party. They wouldn't even hear any of my evidence. They took Emma away without doing a proper investigation.
In the end, the judges sided against her, and on December 1st, 2015, Emma was removed from Rose's home by a police force, giving Mike and Heather custody that Thanksgiving. In the span of under 2 years, Rose contends that Mike and Heather manipulated, leaving her defenseless by the time her videos showed up on her radar. She said they lost weight under Martin's care, and that the numerous psychologists and psychiatrists she spoke to all described the contents of Daddy O'Flynn's videos as nothing less than abusive. With nothing left to do, she resorted to an effort to get her kid back on April 18th, 2017, which happened to coincide with the channel receiving widespread backlash, not without the help of On the 17th of April, DeFranco took to his main channel with the goal of bringing awareness to the abuse happening outside. He starts by summarizing the recent events of DeFranco pushed them into abuse to begin with, before getting into some of their other videos where the family gets physical, citing instances like throwing money, giving up money numbers. A horrifying image to normal people, but to Mike, this was all a big misunderstanding. DeFranco wasn't.
Although the father's defense is that it wasn't actually blood, no, it was a complete defense. Yeah, but even if I get the benefit of doubt, you still push your kid face first into a shot.
Dedicating the next several uploads to speaking about the situation as it continued to gain steam outside of YouTube, bringing more clips to light of the situation, causing Daddy O'Flynn to make an appearance on Drama, where they describe Cody as an actor, before releasing yet another non-apology of a statement in which they admit to faking their videos for the sake of entertainment.
Over-exaggerated. Some videos are scripted. They're just played out. The kids' ideas, we act them out. They've said it's their ideas.
After a sorry attempt to weasel their way out of the limelight, Mike and Heather direct their focus to Frankie, blaming him specifically for making the situation worse than it was and putting their family in danger.
With the Franco guy, he made a video about us. We would have never got this out of here. This guy. Starting all of this, doing all of this to my family. He's responsible for this. Yes, we did the videos. Yes, I own up to everything in the videos. I own they're fake. Maybe I got a little carried away sometimes.
Despite Heather's previous assertion that CPS had already investigated once and found something, one CPS agent described the situation as these videos are promoting domestic violence. Even if the parents do it in the best of intention, if you are teaching them to your own children that causing violence and stress is okay as long as it's a joke. The situation even reached their city council. First, one member by the name of Craig Rice confirmed that the appropriate authorities and agencies were aware of the situation and were not. While the Martins may have intended to keep posting through the controversy, there was no ignoring things that these days they continued to get to publish what seemed at first like a more heartfelt update as to where the situation stood, removing all of their videos except this one, to which Franco also
realized that we had made terrible things and we did what it is great.
Things that don't not just this is done. I understand how
wasn't fun, and they have several of these throughout the video. Several are cut and promptly on it and made out. It's been so many times through the video where they sort of what it was about. Then I see this stuff.
We are now in fact counting because we had
Everything's just actually outrageous. It's more
we actually have that. We actually did counseling and we went to counseling that late. Ironically, we had.
Despite receiving death threats from Daddy05's fan base, Franco didn't let up and continued reporting updates to the story up until it was confirmed that Cody and Emily were safely returned to their biological home in May of 2017. The update is
Emily and Cody are with me. Her emergency custody. They're doing good.
with two of the most bully-hard children finally in a safe environment, it was time Mike and Heather faced. Shortly after shutting down their main account and promoting the new Audio 5 channel, the Frederick County Circuit Court filed the charges in August of 2020. Each parent facing down two separate charges, to which they ended up being guilty of which meant they weren't totally admitted but they were admitted to evidence in the state improvement. They were sentenced to 5 years supervised, and if they broke the rules of that probation, they'd be going to jail for 10 years. But in early 2019, it was reported by numerous outlets that it seemingly lowered the probation level and even allowed expungement despite this constantly breaking through regarding the market spread to continue. Shockingly enough, a good handful of loyal Daddy05 supporters still exist, keeping up with their 2 or 3 brands of the new Family of 5 channel to get posted behind the paywall on their own website. This came after YouTube opted to suspend their new channels multiple times, leading Mike to, at one point, pursue an entirely different path as a SoundCloud rapper. I don't think I can make this up. Taking to the forefront of gaming voice taking to YouTube more under the name of Mark. Initially uploading the occasional Frank and Claude with eager sites, which were finally reintroduced in May of 2020. Over time, the channel seamlessly began featuring more Mike until he finally took over the channels itself, becoming to the point of her latest upload being just 6 hours prior to me writing the day Art family, as it would appear Mike intends to stage. He's always felt.
It doesn't matter. I won't be happy. I'll say.
As far as I'm concerned, Mike and Heather Martin are the YouTube equivalents of no matter how much criticism or even criminal charges are leveled against them, they just don't seem to do it. While I'm beyond grateful for the efforts everyone's making to place out the Cody and such a hostile place to reunite with one person who loves and cares for them the most, the fact that it took so much for the appropriate authorities to step in is a grave disservice to child abuse everywhere. Mike and Heather Martin deserved far more legal penalizing than they received, in my opinion. It should be ecstatic they got off the hook. For far too long, they both instigated capital was stressed on what they said. Punishing their children by an array of legal using the camera as a sort of disciplinary tool and the channel as an incentive dangling stardom and nice things in exchange for the reactions they knew yet. I don't know where Mike and Heather's story goes from, but the whole other chapter has been long closed. Though I sincerely hope they've changed their ways of raising Playboy under their command. Whether Mike or Heather have ever realized their actions affecting their children in a profoundly harmful way, I don't have to be seen. But truthfully, that potential self-realization would do little to shape them. Daddy of Five remains the worst family channel in online history.
Withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. Art thou finished?
Thanks for that.
No!